Hi, I'm Elton John, and Super Meat Boy is a small piece of tiny battered meat that conquered the world to become one of the greatest games of all time. Yet the game is so simple, it's just a 2D platform game, the kind of game that was made for years. But Super Meat Boy not only takes inspiration from classic 2D challenging games of the past, but it pays homage to them. Basically, you play through each level, trying to rescue your girlfriend, Bandage Girl, from the clutches of evil Dr. Fetus, who is the world's ultimate hater, flipping off everyone who gets in his way. Each level gets progressively harder until it becomes insanely difficult, with saw blades, fire, moving walls, lasers, you name it. But that is the beauty of the game. It's a throwback to those insanely difficult platform games of the past. Add to that the ability to find hidden levels, which are based on the old 8-bit platform style games of the past, complete with 8-bit graphics, and you've got a masterpiece on your hands. As well as that, you can unlock hidden characters like Commander Video and many others. Each has slightly different advantages and disadvantages, but they all add up to make the gameplay better. Plus you have the Dark World levels, which allow you to play extra levels that are harder than the originals. And this all adds up to one of the greatest games of all time. Yet, it's also one of the most frustrating games of all time, because you need lightning reactions and fast hand-eye coordination to get past some of these short but brilliantly hard levels. And trying to complete levels without dying soon becomes impossible, as you get used to seeing Meat Boy get ripped apart over and over again and again by saw blades and various traps. But the game delivers a challenge, and that is what the old platform classics did. In fact, my favourite part of this game is unlocking the old 8-bit levels, which are hidden throughout the game. I love the Game Boy type retro graphics of these levels. I like the old style. They took me back to the early days of gaming, and reminds me how far gaming has come. And yet maybe the fact we return to the old days with games like Super Meat Boy reminds us all that things were better in the old days. But this respect for platform games of the past, that's what gives Super Meat Boy the edge. But the fast and furious gameplay, where you are always encouraged to complete a level as quickly as possible, adds to the greatness of this humble, simple, but fantastic game. But some might find the later levels become too taxing at times. But that is the nature of the game. But the feeling you get from completing a level and getting that A+ rating is very satisfying. Super Meat Boy is a classic game in every sense of the word. Its art style, its comic book graphics, its fast pace are all excellent. But it's the brilliant design of the levels that is the most impressive thing. With collapsing walls, hidden areas, lasers, flying saw blades, fire pits, huge jumps, it has everything. Yet even though some levels at first glance seem totally impossible, the challenge of finding the solution is the beauty of Super Meat Boy. You get a real buzz from completing a level that seemed impossible minutes before. But patience and timing and resolve are key to mastering this game. You may have to die 100 times before working it out and reaching your beloved Bandage Girl on the other side of the screen, only for the evil Dr. Fetus to suddenly jump out and steal her away again. But you can save your replays and the best levels and watch all the times you died. Some gamers will want to race through each level, getting the fastest time, but others will just be happy to be able to complete each level. As well as hard levels, you've got different zones to play through, like the forest or hospital, and of course you can unlock dark zone levels, which are harder versions of the same zone. As well as all that, you've got to collect bandages, they're hidden in various places, and you can unlock other characters by spending them, which is a nice touch. And some of the characters are as retro and iconic looking as Super Meat Boy himself. I mean, Commander Video could easily be the star of the game. In fact, unlocking hidden characters by collecting hidden bandages becomes a game in itself, and one that is highly addictive. It's always fun trying different characters. Each character has a slightly different ability, which makes tackling levels a unique challenge, but still a difficult one. But Super Meat Boy isn't for everyone. Whereas some gamers live for a challenge and realise that's what gaming is about, other gamers want to collect points and complete games as easy and as fast as possible. Which to me is totally missing the point of games like Super Meat Boy. They exist to challenge you. I mean, if I completed Super Meat Boy in 2 hours, I'd be very disappointed. Because once the game is over, that's it. You've seen it all. But thankfully, there are enough hidden levels in Super Meat Boy to go back. And there's also enough hidden challenges, like unlocking the Dark Zone levels. But in fact, in many ways, the best way to play Super Meat Boy is to never complete it. Then you can go back to this wonderful, brilliant game again and again. I mean, I never have time to finish many games, as there's always something else to play, or a new challenge around the corner. But I like going back to Super Meat Boy again and again, and remembering what a masterpiece of retro art it was, with its comic book cartoon nature. I mean, Super Meat Boy became one of the most recognisable characters in gaming, and in the end he's just a square of meat, fighting an angry baby in a top hat with a monocle. But this is the stuff of gaming legend, and no doubt Super Meat Boy cups and t-shirts were hot property at one point. But it's ironic that in its attempt to pay homage to the 2D platform game classics of the past, the developers created a platform classic of the future that is still the bar when it comes to classic platform challenge gaming today. It's a shame not all indie games can pack this kind of punch, but Meat Boy certainly did, winning a boatload of awards and showing retro classics were very popular even in a world of AAA titles. Because in the end it's not about graphics or frame rate, it's about fun and a challenge, and Meat Boy delivers big time. The great reason Super Meat Boy was such a success was its simplicity. It never tried to be a big AAA title, it just kept things simple. In the end, Super Meat Boy is an example of what can be achieved, even without huge resources and loads of money. I mean, this simple game didn't need incredible graphics and all the bells and whistles, it just relied on its challenging gameplay to hook people and keep them coming back, and it worked brilliantly. Because there's a huge market for 2D retro-style platform games, because it's a genre people love. And the development team delivered by producing a simple, brilliant platform masterpiece that takes gamers back to a time when graphics didn't really matter. It was all about beating the next level and proving you had the skill, timing and patience not to be beaten. If anything, Super Meat Boy is a lesson to all developers. It reminds them all that making a game isn't about impressing everyone with your technical achievements and winning awards. It's not just about graphics, it's about making a good game and being remembered fondly by gamers in years to come. And that's all it's ever been about. But it seems as technology improves, developers become like a kid in a sweet shop, and they have forgot how simple and brilliant gaming can be. Thankfully, Super Meat Boy is there to remind them.